I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. Right, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear from a weather forecaster.
Temperatures could rise to 31 degrees. Shit, I've left my baby in the car! A huge depression over Scotland, and now the weather. The outlook's bright for the weekend. I've got 3 grams of coke in my pocket and my wife's on holiday. What do you care what the weather's going to be like? You look shit in all your clothes.
Unlikely things to hear on a survival show.
I was first taught to eat in the bush by a French girl I went out with at university. But who are the truly civilised? Is it the Mbupi tribe, or is it us, with our books, our medicine, and our internet? Oh, yes, it's us. The strong, powerful sun is making me sweat. Oh, shit, here comes his dad. I've just achieved my life's ambition of climbing Everest with no food and no equipment. Now do you love me, Daddy? Now do you love me?
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to read on a packet.
Viagra are proud sponsors of Andy Murray for people who can only ever achieve a semi. Best before date, Rohypnol.
Deleted lines from a fantasy film.
I'm not a dwarf, I'm a lesbian.
The next topic is things you don't want to hear from your flatmate.
Well, if you don't think I'm a nosy bastard, why did you write that in your diary? I don't see why I should pay for half the loo roll when I never use any.
Unlikely things to hear on a consumer programme.
I'm Adrian Chiles, and I was shocked by the new Shrek film. I've not been paid for it, but I seem to be starring in it. Last week, we said that we were going to expose London's security scene. This week, we say, there's been a misunderstanding. Could I please have my kids back? I'm Anne Robinson, and without plastic surgery, I'd look like E.T.'s balls.
OK, the next topic is things a sports commentator would never say.
Jimmy White holding up the cue there as he collapses at the till in odd bins. It's the women's 100 metres final, and from left to right, it's no, no, yes, maybe, from behind. Definitely not. Venus Williams has brought something different to the ladies' game. Male genitalia. Overpaid knocks it on to overrated on to possible rapist knocks it forward, closet gay, goal!
Unlikely lines from a thriller.
Michael, Peter, David, Vladimir, I think we may have a spy in the organisation. This is no ordinary pen bond. Turn it upside down, the woman's clothes drop off and you can see her tits.
Bad things to say at a wedding.
When John went down on one knee, I wish I'd known that he was having a stroke. Now, it's my job to tell some amusing stories about Gavin. So, first of all, for a kick-off, he's a hermaphrodite. Now, Carol's family have always had their doubts about me. So, first of all, let me explain why I'm naked.
Bad things to hear at the psychiatrist's.
I don't want you to think of me as a psychiatrist. I want you to think of me as a mental patient who killed the psychiatrist before you got here. Well, you say that you're paranoid, but I have a report here that says you looked very relaxed in the bath this morning. You've been coming here for 6 months to talk about your trust issues. Well, we've been filming you for Britain's nuttiest bastards.
Unlikely things to hear on a TV talent show.
2007's winner, Leon Jackson, is still selling records in his Saturday job at HMV Paisley. What a hilarious singing dog Susan Boyle is. That was a beautiful song until you fucking sang it.
Things you wouldn't want to hear at work.
It's not a photocopier, it's a shredder. And what have you done to your arse? Do you mind if I leave early? I've got to pick up the kids before their parents get there. Now, I want you all to put down those football bits that you've been sewing, because I've heard that it's somebody's very special 11th birthday. And we've got you a photo of a cake. Punchawaho, chungwa, punchawaho. What do you mean it's not your turn to make the coffee? This is fucking Starbucks. I've always wanted to work in a library. If only I could read.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things to hear on a property programme.
You know I said those ghastly beams, what on earth are they for? It turns out they were for holding your house up. Even on a collapsing market, you can still make money from a flat like this. We invited 3 different estate agents to come and value it, then harvested their organs. Very spacious and with wonderful views, but this flat is in Dundee, so it might as well be built out of shit.
Rejected questions from this year's exams.
There are 6 lines of equal length. How long will Kerry Katona be in the bathroom?
Unlikely things to hear on a TV business show.
OK, Dragons, I've developed a system that lets you get your own seat on the bus, and it involves talking slightly too loudly then pissing yourself. Hello and welcome to Working Lunch, a show for people who are so good at business they're sat at home watching the TV in the middle of the fucking day. This week, the apprentices face their toughest task ever, selling the shite Sir Alan actually makes.
Bad things to hear from a tour guide.
I know that a lot of you can't bear to leave Thailand, which is why I've hidden drugs randomly in your luggage. An adult and 2 children is £10. But enough about my trip to Cambodia.
Our next topic is unlikely things to hear on a breakfast show.
Welcome to Radio Tourette's, you shit monkeys.
Lines you wouldn't hear in a horror movie.
I am from Transylvania and I will suck you dry.
Oh, yes? And what about your cheeky sister?
As a vampire, I cannot bear direct sunlight, which is why I moved to Scotland. But now I can't find any virgins.
This potion that turns you from Dr. Jekyll into Mr. Hyde, it looks a lot like 6 cans of Stella.
Unlikely things to hear on a children's TV programme.
This drawing has been sent in by Robert, age 9. That's a shit drawing, Robert. They're children your age in China who can make shoes. There's a rumour that the Teletubbies have been infiltrated by Al Qaeda. Have you, Tinky Winky? Have you, Dipsy? Rashid?
Flobber-dobber-dob, said Bill. Bloody foreigners, said Ben.
Flobber-dobber-dobber-dob, said Ben, because he'd had a stroke. Next up, Sharpie and Ryan take their audition failure very badly in Columbine High School Musical.
Unlikely small ads.
John, 20, has been missing for 2 years. He was a diabetic and left without taking his medication. Let's face it, he's dead.
Unlikely things for a cricket commentator to say.
Go! Is it a 4 or is it a 6? No, that man's arse is definitely a 10. To recap on the rules, it's rounders with extra gay stuff. The Indians may have pipped us here, but let's not forget, we slaughtered them in their millions.
What not to say to a policeman.
I wanted to be a policeman, but then I passed my O-levels. My sister would like you. She loves a man in uniform, and she's a racist.
Excerpts from DVDs I wouldn't sell.
Thank you for purchasing Learning the Guitar with Stephen Hawking. All Jedi do gay stuff, Luke. Relax and feel the Force.
The worst thing to hear over a tannoy system.
The owner of the Porsche convertible, you're a middle-aged man having a nervous breakdown. We're currently cruising at 17 feet, and my wife left me when I converted to Islam.
Bad ways for Gordon Brown to address the nation.
I believe in openness and transparency, which is why my trousers are open and my pants are transparent. I'm disgusted that so many cabinet ministers have smoked cannabis, because there's some fantastic MDMA going around. Lick my neck, lick my back, lick my pussy and my crack. You thought Tony Blair was a cunt. Watch this.
Things you wouldn't hear at a party conference.
I think I can speak for everybody here, because I'm a mixed-race hermaphrodite. Brothers, sisters, I don't care, I'll fuck anything.
Unlikely lines to hear in a TV show.
Next on Loose Women, someone worth wanking to.
Unlikely lines from the final Harry Potter book.
I'm glad they let Irvin Welsh write a chapter, said Harry, and as the methadone hit his system, he shat himself. Hagrid, why have you hidden a copy of the Quran in your beard? Could I leave school now? I'm fucking 27.
Bad things for a teacher to say.
You're all going on this school trip, but if any of you have ever watched the news, you'll know that you won't all be coming back. We've all had a hard time since Sharon went missing. I, for example, haven't been able to use my basement. Today's game of heads down, thumbs up begins on the sound of my zipper.
Things you wouldn't hear on a driving test.
My stumps don't reach the pedals. There are 2 ways you can pass. You can spend 2 hours driving round Norwich, or you can suck on this.
What a TV chef would never say.
I'm Nigella Lawson, and what I love about presenting this programme is the knowledge that at home, Frankie Boyle has just about ripped his cock off. While you're stuffing the lamb, put your hand over his muzzle so he can't cry for his mother. This dish requires a little extra salt, so I'm going to fuck it. And there we have it. A donut like a Boy Scout's arsehole.
Bad things to say at the opening of the new Wembley Stadium.
Well, isn't this magnificent? Some seats pointing at some fucking grass. As you'll see, the dressing rooms have been specially adapted for mass roastings.
Unlikely things to hear on Comic Relief.
Why don't they just eat the flies?
The worst thing your new neighbour could say.
Stay away from my daughter. She gave me crabs. I fantasize about tricking your wife into making love to me by wearing your skin.